Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Apple stock, it's up 0.31%, so Apple was up actually over 2%. And look at what happened here on Apple stock for the second day, Friday and today. Huge rejection from this negative sloping 5-day moving average 212. Now it's sitting at 211.25, but you guys got the point right here. Getting a rejection, came back and pretty much holding 207 as a support, closing at 208 before closing. Now what I think here on Apple stock, we can definitely afford even a bigger pullback down to this weekly support, and that's going to be anywhere from 200 to 198, a strong support and a weekly retest of this breakout, and that's going to be a buying opportunity if you're buying Apple here. Now going into tomorrow's session, if Apple can actually hold 207, watch out for a move back up to 211.25, and above that this thing can push even higher, 215 to 217 and then 220. Now below 207, guys, things will look interesting because this thing can dump, possibly can retest this trend line, which is going to be around 199 to 200. Previous all-time highs, retest this trend line, retest, and also look at this rising 20-day moving average, white line, 201. So that's going to be a strong support below 207, but we need to get under that level to play it to the downside. If you're not in, watch out. This support needs to hold, and as long as the support can hold, this thing can push higher again. But the moment it actually takes out the support at 207, that is when you'll know that it's coming back to retest weekly breakout, daily breakout, even on shorter time frame like hourly, 2 hour, 4 hour, and this is going to be a strong support anywhere from 198 to 200 on Apple stock on a pullback below 207 to go long here on Apple stock as long as the support can hold. On Microsoft, it's down 0.5%. So Microsoft, I actually shorted last week at near 450, 449.40, I think. That is where I got in at 445 puts. And this morning, I got out right here, guys. I'm not playing this because this thing again hitting a brand new all-time high. Soon as I got out, this thing went back up, holding this rising 5-day moving average and hitting a brand new all-time high, 452.75, and taking over as a #1 company here in this market again. So Microsoft definitely over 451. There is going to be more upside, possibly up to 457 to 460. Bollinger Band fully expanded now up to 457, so this thing can run above 451. Now to the downside, there will be strong support at 447, rising 5-day moving average, but if that gives up, watch out down here, 443, 438, and then this gap, 432.82. On Amazon, stock is down 1.86%. So Amazon, look at this, guys. I don't know what you want to call this. Triple top, quadruple top. This thing, another rejection at 190. Got up to 191. And look at the way this thing closed. Gave away how much? From 191 down to 185. That is a horrible closing, especially if you're a bull here on Amazon. This is not looking good. As long as 185 holds, there is hope for more upside, possibly back up to 189 to 190 again. But if this thing actually gives up 185, you're going to find yourself down here, down to this support right here, 183.26, 20-day and 50-day moving average, and below that support, you have the next support 180, and then lower Bollinger Band is a support 176.60. Now, at some point, Amazon breaks out. I said it before also in my video, over 190, it needs to hold. If that happens, that's going to be a big breakout for more upside. And once we get up here, then we can talk about more upside, but it's nowhere near 190 right now, trading at 185. So be careful. This thing can break out, or we could see a breakdown just like we saw on Nvidia stock. It's been running for months, guys. If this thing pulls back down to 159, that is definitely a healthy pullback, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like it's crashing. So yes, a pullback can happen, but also keep that in mind. Trend is up, and so far it's trading above 20-day moving average. So if you're bear here on Amazon, until this thing breaks under 20-day, you're not going to be comfortable holding your puts on Amazon stock. On Google stock, it's up 0.29%. So this is what I call, possibly a breakout. And you can see it's holding for the second day 180, and the Bollinger Band already starting to move higher up to 181. Today again got up to 182, but not taking out this high. So Google actually holding over this trend line 180. That is looking bullish for a next stop up to maybe 182.51, up to even 185, 188 if this breakout holds right here at 180. Now below 180 there will be a pullback down to 178, and then strong support down here 176. If this thing breaks under 176, that is when you're going to see more dump off all the way down to 173 and then 170, and extremely bearish will be under 170 if that happens on Google stock. But let's just not go there, because looks like we're getting a breakout over 180. As long as the support can hold, this thing can push higher, just like we saw on Microsoft and Apple stock. On Tesla stock is down 0.24%, so Tesla definitely paid today, but for the second time I had to go puts on Tesla and then finally got some money out of it. Now the first time I was actually live in my Discord trading this morning and got into Tesla puts at 188, exactly 180 puts. This thing came back down to I think 186, and then I put a stop at break even, went back up, I got stopped out for no loss, and then I got back in again live, actually above 188 with 180 puts, and then this thing definitely came down. So it was the right decision. And why? Look at this, it was trading above upper Bollinger Band, and my target was the gap 184 to 185 from this morning, and this thing came back filling the gap and now trading under 183. So Tesla definitely paid today. And not only this trade, there was a nice fantastic trade on SMH. I'm not showing you guys all that other stuff that I did, but definitely, and I'm talking about serious people, guys. People actually take trading seriously. If you're serious about trading, definitely worth every penny. Check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. Now here on Tesla, not even holding 183, pretty much right here. So 183 cannot hold. The next support will be down here at 178, and then 174 down to 170. To the upside, 183 can actually hold right here. Tesla can recapture, then watch out for a move back up to 186 and then possibly up to 200. And by that time, this Bollinger Band, and I said it before also, it might be just consolidating right here until this Bollinger Band expands all the way up to 200, and then you're going to see over 183 a big move all the way up to 200 plus on Tesla. On Meta, it's up 0.83%, so Meta got up to 508 almost, and then pretty much gave away all the gains, came back under 500, and now trading below this trend line and inside this bull flag. Now almost was a breakout today. This thing came back, and you can see it on shorter time frame. It was coming back and retesting 505 right here, but it did not hold, and now it's trading at 498. So here on Meta, guys, key level to break and hold will be 500, and above 500, 505 to 504. And once we get above that level, you're going to see a quick trip all the way up to 520. But until we get that breakout confirmation, if this thing cannot actually hold inside this flag and takes out for 90, in that case, watch out for more downside down to 479.27, 50 SMA, and then this gap 478.89 on Meta. On AMD, it's down 0.61%, so nothing but a lot of consolidation right here on AMD, and not even touching this trend line today. This thing actually went back up from this 50 SMA 158 and now trading at 160. So 158 to right here, guys, this trend line 156. That is gonna be your line in the sand for AMD. Anything below that, AMD will go down in a big way, down to 148, 138, and much lower. Now, as long as this trend line can hold, and this 50 SMA at 158, watch out for the breakout over 164, and soon as that happens, you're going to see a quick trip up to 171, 173, and possibly up to 184, and then these gaps on top 188 and then 205.60. Netflix going down 2.5%, and look at where it came to, guys. Exactly, and I was actually calling this out live today that it might go down to 664, and look at this, 664 pretty much exactly went back up and now trading at 669. So the support is holding. Now, if this thing actually gets over, I would say 680 above this 5-day moving average, then we're going back up and possibly hitting 700, and I think that is coming as long as the support can hold right here, 664. Below 664, the next support 655, rising 20-day moving average, and then we're talking about 630s on Netflix. On Nvidia, stock is down 6.68%, so big dump off on Nvidia stock, and looks like it's holding near the support 117.85 right before closing. Now, people that were actually chasing calls at 130, 136, 140, talking about 160, I got one or two comments in my video that, Nvidia is going to 200. Well, how actually that played out, right? You cannot chase anything. And people that are subscribed to my channel, you guys exactly know what I'm saying. I showed you guys on longer time frame, weekly, monthly, quarterly time frame, this thing is extremely overbought. And finally gave away how much from the top? Like 23 bucks. So nothing big, right? Nvidia can still go down even more, but in that process, we can still get a bounce, maybe back up to 122, possibly up to 126 if we get a bounce off of this level right here, 117.85. Now, if that gives up at some point, the next support will be this trend line right here. That's going to be around 109 to 110, and then 107. And below 107, things can turn really ugly on Nvidia stock, and this thing can go down to 105. And don't forget about these gaps down here. Possibly can come down to, I would say, 96 bucks, and that is going to be somewhat of a dip buy if you want to get in here on Nvidia stock, not on a 3-day pullback. You can only scalp calls as long as this support can hold 117.85. To the upside, resistance will be at 123, 122 right here, and then 126, and only if we can clear 126, which I think this is not going to happen this week, then we can talk about maybe 130s on Nvidia again. Until then, watch the support 117.85 on Nvidia. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I will definitely keep you guys updated.